Welcome back to another episode of That's Business. Today's episode, we're going to highlight what career coaching is. This is one of the top questions I get being a business owner is, what is career coaching? What does it entail? And who really needs it? With the ever-growing age of coaches and everyone's a coach and everything, this is a perfect opportunity for us to go through and understand what the heck career coaching is. You don't necessarily need a career coach if you're just lost. Is a career coach do that? Absolutely. But a career coach is someone that can help you figure out if you should change industries, if this job offer is what you should do, if a promotion is a good move. Should you stay internally? Should you look externally? Just overall giving you that clarity and what you should do with your career. Should you start a new business? Should you do consulting? But a true career coach is someone who is the biggest cheerleader for you, is someone who can really help you out. And that's why that is my favorite service I offer. My favorite clients I work with when it comes to career coaching are those that really don't know what they want to do. Or they have that moment of saying, oh, I'm considering this. I don't have confidence. I'm just lost when it comes to that. Those are my favorite clients to do that with because that aha moment has nothing more satisfying. That moment when you understand, oh, this is what I meant to do. This is what I should be doing. This is going to be a great option for me. Those are my favorite times when people really understand their skills and how they can be applied. The old way of thinking, a few years ago, whether it was our parents, our grandparents, depending on how old you are, was you stay with the job for 20 years. You start there when you're 18, 22, whatever, and you stay there till you retire. That's not the case anymore. Do some people still do it? Absolutely. But you can't stay at a job if they're not giving you a raise year over year. I've talked about this multiple times that on average, if you don't receive a raise, you actually lose money long term. There are other economic factors such as inflation, price of everything's going up. If you're not receiving a raise, you're actually losing money. So this is where companies need to be competitive. You have to give your employees raises. You have to give them benefits to want to stay. You want to give them a reason to stay with you long term, but don't be shocked when they leave if you're not giving these benefits. And a career coach can really help you figure that out. The variety of clients I work with weekly just really depends. I've spent one session where I just instilled confidence in someone who's been at a company for 33 years and is considering moving. Regularly not getting raises, just getting beat down by a VP of just continuous, I don't want to say harassment, but kind of. That hour was spent giving this person the confidence they need to make the right decision. I talked to that same person a week after, and it was like night and day, which was such an amazing feeling. They came to that conclusion themselves. They came to that conclusion after talking to me of, wow, I need to leave. I really need to get out. And it was a hard decision to make, but ultimately the right one. What a good career coach does, myself included, is we understand what the true problem is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should do and tell you all of this, but if I feel there's an underlying issue, whether it's personal, professional, let's get down to it. Funny enough, I actually have 2 psychology degrees, and I originally was going to school to be a therapist and change career paths. But having that psychology background really and that emotional intelligence to understand clients makes a big difference. I connect with people on these career coaching sessions more than some of my closest friends sometimes, but it's really an awesome opportunity to get to understand people, get to know that. I mean, with your career, everyone has an opinion about it. Everyone does. Whether it's on LinkedIn, your friends, your family, your teachers, your professors, doesn't matter. Everyone has an opinion on what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And when you hire a career coach, they're meant to show you the right path or understanding and being upfront and honest. If a career path change that you think is good, I know will not be good for you, I'm going to tell you that because you don't want to be miserable. You deserve to be happy. You're supposed to have happiness when it comes to a job. And there are careers out there for you. It's just a matter of finding those. Those skills you've had for your first 10 years of your career are transferable to other industries, but you're never taught any of this. It's, you go to college, you get the degree, you stay that same degree path for the rest of time until you retire, but that's not happening anymore. Of the thousands of people we work with, very rarely does someone still, where I should say, very rarely does someone have the same degree and are still working in the same field that they initially got their degree in. Yes, social media will tell you one thing of, oh, you have to stay this degree path and look how perfect my job is and my life. And as someone who is on social media a lot, yes, I do love social media, but not for those reasons. Love it for the honesty. I love it for the realism. But what a lot of people don't talk about is how your skills can change. Or, hey, it's okay to want to leave your company. Or, hey, should I leave this job that I just took a few months ago and I know deep in my heart it's the wrong decision? Yeah. A career coach is like a business partner. We're here to help you make those decisions. We're here to give you a strategic plan of action. I'm not going to say just quit your job if you live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not going to tell you go move across the country when you have a kid in school. I'm not going to tell you all these things unless they make sense. Logical thinking is the best way to approach career coaching and understanding how you can get there. With these career coaching sessions too, it's not just a walk in the park. I give you homework. I make sure you understand what you need to do, and I make sure you feel confident in doing so. And I provide support along the way. But a true career coach can help you figure this out. I remember, what was I? I think I was just out of college, maybe 22, 23. And, in college, you're told everything's sunshine and rainbows. You're going to make so much money. Everything's great. The career world is great. Being an adult is great. And I vividly remember driving home from work where I was severely underpaid and saying, this can't be it. I'm just not fulfilled in my life professionally. And that's where talking to other friends, and even more so now, everyone goes through this. And it's just a matter of, it comes down to, are you going to take action and make change, or are you just going to deal with it? And then you come to me 10, 15 years later and you say, Angela, I should have left this company when I had it in my gut feeling 10 years ago. And it's okay. You have to think too, if an employer is really going to care that you left a job after a few months because you were absolutely miserable, it's probably not the ideal employer you want. If you explain, oh, I was miserable for A, B, C, D reasons, great, totally understandable. But you really have to take the time to understand what that looks like and what do you value more? Happiness or just a job? The nice thing about a career coach too is even if you have that inkling to want to move or considering moving, right? And you say, oh, well, I just can't quit my job and pursue this. Well, even when that idea comes in your head, let's talk about it. That's the ideal time for you to get yourself out there and for you to make a plan of action. Because if you're really wanting a very specific job in a very specific industry, it's going to be more difficult to obtain it. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. But if you start when you at least have that idea and talk it out with someone, you are going to be set up for success so much better than someone else who's just waiting for the right opportunity. You're never going to be ready. I was never ready to start this business. I was never ready to do all these things, to start this podcast that I'm talking to you on right now. But time is money. Time is happiness. If you're not happy, your work's going to reflect that. Your relationships are going to reflect that. So why not figure out what you want to do first and talk to someone that could be that voice of reason and understand the market? I make the joke sometimes that I'm more of a career therapist, that I can help you figure this out. My own therapist appreciates it. She says it's okay I say that, so we roll with it. But a career therapist, like I like to call myself, is I just want you to see the other side. I want you to get the wheels turning. I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. I really want you to find happiness, and I want you to be empowered to do so. And I truly operate on when I was looking for a job, when I was a kid out of college miserable, when I said I don't know what I want to do with my life, that's how I operate. I operate from a voice of, if the roles were reversed, what would I need to hear? What would I need to see? Some of these career coaching sessions turn into talking about personal lives, of what is hindering you in your personal life that is kind of blocking your professional growth. And that does happen. It's crazy, but it does happen. And identifying the root cause of all of this really will help understand what the next steps are, because they are there. You can take them. One of the biggest reasons my clients hire me for career coaching is we talk through and they say, oh, my mom thinks I should just stay, or my significant other just thinks this is a bad move, or my friends think I'm crazy. That's okay. We can think about these things big picture. And I always challenge every client I work with to say, okay, this is what it looks like. Can you do this? Do you have the skill set to achieve this? Do you have the will to do this? Can you make it happen? Because if you're someone that thinks it's going to be a walk in the park and thinks you're just going to get something the next day, it's going to be a rude awakening. But we can take tangible steps down to 5 minutes a day, down to an hour a week, but just something that's going to progress you to where you want to be. And you're always going to face the people that are going to say, your career move is crazy, starting a business is crazy, or why would you leave your comfortable job? You're not miserable. So what if you have a bad boss? Grow up. Or, okay, you make a ton of money. Who cares if you're not happy? I'm here to tell you what makes sense and what doesn't. I've told people realistic, like if you get out of this job, this is the reality of what could happen. And we talk about that. If you've listened to this podcast, you know and you follow me on socials, you know I'm someone that prides myself on honesty, that I pride myself on making you feel empowered, making you feel like you can reasonably take these next steps and giving you the action plan to do so. I love nothing more than when my career coaching clients come back to me and say, oh my God, I never thought this was possible. This is insane. This was such a breakthrough. And it makes me so happy to hear. I was talking about this, I believe, on my last podcast that I recorded, of how you go to college and you're never told, even in high school and college, like what career options are there. You get a handful, you do the personality test in high school or what they think would be good for you, but you're truly not given all these fields. And that's when I talk with these clients I work with and I say, oh, well, how about this? They go, I don't even know what that is. And it's almost an embarrassment thing, but you're never taught any of this. I never want you to feel like you're embarrassed because you don't know something. There is so much information out in the world. There are millions of jobs that many of us don't even know existed. Had I not worked in recruiting, I would not know so many of these jobs existed. Now owning this business and owning the Resume Rescue, I see everything. And that's where I understand from my resume sessions, from everything, like what this job truly entails. I keep up to date on information. I make sure I have the best information to give you so you feel empowered and good to go. And that's why you should hire a career coach. You don't know what you want to do. You're considering an industry change. You want to make more money. You want to find that happiness in your career. Hire a career coach. Get an unbiased opinion from someone who truly has your best interests in mind. And if you're not sure where to start writing it down. The simplest piece of advice I can give you. Take a notebook, take a notes program, whatever, on your phone, your laptop, desktop, whatever, and start thinking this out. Brain dump onto what you think you could do. Do a pros and cons list. My one piece of homework I give people all the time is, what brings you happiness? If it's hanging out with your dog, if it's taking walks, if it's just anything personally and professionally, let's get it down. And that's my piece of advice to you. So if you're someone listening to this that you're not sure or a lot of this is resonating with you, it's time you hire a career coach. And I hope that gets to be me. Thank you for listening to another podcast for That's Business. Be sure to follow us, write us reviews, and anything else you need. Tune in next week.
If you're looking for a career change and you're not sure where to start, the Resume Rescue can help. Sure, there's no such thing as the perfect fit for everyone, but here at the Resume Rescue, we're on a mission to find the perfect solution for you. Whether it's changing careers, updating a resume, learning LinkedIn, or practicing interviewing, we have you covered. Find us online at theresumerescue.com and find all of our contact info in our show notes.